What's up?
Yeah,
What's up, Shake?
we
What's
here,
up?
Full Blast
See,
Radio. Once again, we got hip hop in the building. It's a Woo Wednesday. Had to do the show early because definitely was anticipating, excited to do this interview. Shout out to my man Mick Takala from the Tribe, helping out getting this together, and want to welcome Tone Love, legendary Tough Crew from Philly.
Yo, what's good? What's good, Tiger?
What's good, brother? How are you, man?
Man, I can't complain at all, brother. I'm blessed.
That's what's up, man. So glad to have you, man. We were trying to, set this up for some time, and it's a billion things happening, but I'm finally glad that got everything together. Um,
Yes, sir.
we I know when I grew up, started growing up as a DJ, like a lot of because I was on Long Island, I was kind of everything was kind of central with as far as buying records, and I didn't know about the Philly scene that hard until I got to college. I met a friend called Roger. We did a radio show called the Roger Rabbit Show in Winston-Salem State, and he put me on
Okay.
the Tuff Crew, my part of town. Man, he
Okay.
threw that joint on. I was like, yo, this joint is official. Who are these dudes? So he put me on the Tough Crew. I want to thank Roger Dean for that. He's from Philly too.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to Roger Dean.
Word,
hello,
word.
Roger.
So what was your the upbringing like before you started formulating the crew and what was the Philly scene and
Well, fresh out of high school, well, even in high school, I found myself attracted to, the music. I started tapping into my skills writing ability. Started formulating rhymes, I think in 11th or 12th, yeah, 11th grade. I had a boy in school with me. He was a beatbox. Shout out to Ronnie. Yes, that's my man. He actually one of my producers to this day. He make beats now, but he was a beatboxer, and we shared electronics class. So neither one of us was really interested in electronics. So we used to cut out of there, go in the hallway. He would beatbox for me to the rhymes that I wrote
hmm.
for. Also at lunch break, he would bang on the table for me and bang some beats out, and I would rock these rhymes that I was working on, during that 11th grade year. So that's when it really started with me. And then by 12th grade, I was getting more interested in it. I had bought some equipment, I think a little joint called a Dr. Rhythm drum machine. That was the first drum machine I got. Dr. Rhythm it was called.
Dr. Rhythm? Okay.
Out a few beats. And, at that time, I was listening to the music that was coming out of New York, the first, you know, um, hip hop records that I had been exposed to. And I think at that time, uh, I was about 17 and, started working on my own songs, trying to, record actual songs. Out here in Philly, it was a show called the Street Beat Show with Lady B. And
Mm.
uh,
Out Lady D.
shout out to Lady B for
Power
sure.
99.
She's a hip hop queen and representative out here in Philly, one of the pioneers of the whole scene.
Oh.
And shout out to B. And I used to, get my tape ready and record, what she was, playing on there, which was the newest, music that was coming down the pike.
Right.
At that time, I think it was, friends, how many of us have them? I think Shantae, I might have heard Early Shan.
Show is hip.
Mm.
Yeah, Schoolie D came on the scene. She was rocking him. So I really got excited then about, man, I could record something and maybe get on the Street Beat Show on Lady B joint. So that was my aspiration to start trying to make something that I could get on her radio show. And that was the first radio show out here that I was exposed to that played, hip hop, DJ Herc, all of them, everything that was coming out of New York was ciphering down into radio through Lady B. So as I heard them joints, it was making
No
me inspired to do my thing.
So that was that connection Lady B had with getting the music from New York, like they were playing on the New York shows. To just find out
Absolutely.
what was the hottest joints, and then they would play on
Absolutely.
the
She would filter it right down here to us.
doubt. Yep.
Pretty much was getting it from B. That was my first exposure to what was coming out of, out of Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx was, through Lady B. Yeah. And then we started, putting our thing together. I started formulating my rhymes. Yeah.
So I know they said Tuff Crew is labeled like Philly's first super group. So like kind of like, maybe Public Enemy, as a group, Strong Island, EPMD, they were like all super groups from Strong Island. And Tuff Crew was labeled as Philly's first rap super group. So you
Yeah.
guys weren't like had any solo deals or records out before y'all came together, right?
No, actually, no. We at the time our Tough Crew came together, we were actually just all different hip hop I would say fans that was getting together and doing whatever we could do. It was a park down New York down in North Philly called Hart Park. And I went down to Hart Park. I met Ice Dog down there at the time. I think he was breakdancing. Him and his brother was breakers. But he had some rhyming skills. I met Too Tough down there. He was a DJ, local DJ. And he was unique. He was real good, especially for a white boy. We was all exposed to each other down Hart Park. And then at the time, it was my godfather. His name was Tony Mitchell. And he was saying, yo, maybe we should put a group together. I guess he was hearing about, hip rap, taking on and catching on and hip hop groups being formed. And he suggested, we form a group. So we started, I guess you would say, interviewing for the group, and trying to put a group together. So Ice was starting to rap at the local parties down North Philly. He had a nice sound. That's we're known as, shout out to Overlord Ice Dog. He had a little sound with him. He was getting some recognition doing little house parties down in North Philly. Too Tough started DJing around there. I linked up with them at Hart Park. We interviewed kind of together for the group, and we all was filling each other out. LA Kid, that was the producer for Tuff Crew. He had came from living out in California, had moved out here down to West Philly, and he was living with my godfather at the time. And he can make beats. He was making beats, so he started making some tracks, and we started putting it together. We came together kind of like that. At first, actually, my sister, I'll never forget, she was interviewing to be in the group. Almost had a female in it. My sister Ty, but yeah. So shout out to her too. Happy birthday, sis. But she didn't make the cut. But we wound up getting together, man, and start recording a few joints. And then Tony Mitchell, who I said was the manager, decided to start an independent label, which was So Def Records. While later on, the boy from Atlanta had to call his joint So Def because it was already a So Def Records.
Oh, right.
So
that's why he named So Def. Okay.
Yeah, Jermaine Dupri had to call his joint So Def.
See?
He was putting together, a label at the time as well for the Crisscross group.
Mm-hmm.
And so he became So Def. We became So Def. And we put a joint together, our first joint. It was called Fan Jam. In New Jersey, All-Star MCs. We had a group from New Jersey that we put on, and New Jersey part of it, Fan Jam. That was Crown Rulers.
Yeah.
Crown Rulers.
Deep side.
Yeah, and it was from Camden. We put them on the joint, so that joint was called Philly and New Jersey All-Star MCs Fan Jam. This is prior to the Danger Zone album that's on your backdrop. And that album, it did pretty well for us coming out. I think we sold like 70,000, something like that, with our first joint. So that's when we really took it serious. Like, okay, they feeling us, and from there, Tuff Crew was born.
Yeah, and that's how I came into play, because we all knew there was a group that was in Philly, because how you hear on the town, G-Town, my part of town, my area. So we just knew it was like a group that was in our neighborhood. I had a partner named Eric, and we knew it was like a group in our neighborhood that was like, oh, you know what, we got to find these. We got to get down with these dudes and everything. So if I'm not mistaken, a couple people around the way would say, "Yeah, we see Tone Love, from Tuff Crew. He come through every now and then." If I'm not mistaken, I think you had a black, what was it, a Thunderbird or a,
Yeah,
with on a mission on the
yeah,
front of the joint,
yeah,
right? So one day, me and my man Eric, they pointed us out like they go Tone right there. So we went up to him like, "Yo, we trying to get down." But in the meantime, we was already dancing for another group in Mount Airy. And we was trying to get down that way, and then Tone was like, "Yo, y'all, y'all dope and everything." So then we actually linked up with Tuck Crew and
yeah.
everything, and did a couple shows, some shows with them and everything. So
Right. And that was the inception of hip and hop being, down with us and stuff like that. So
yeah,
and that's pretty much to my recollection how we all got, how we got started.
So with Mick, so we had a Zoom party one time. Mick cleared the floor out, started windmilling. We was like, "Oh shoot!" And then he was telling me that he was breakdancing, talking when y'all would do shows.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was crazy. He'll tell you. It was
yeah,
good. Go ahead, Jay.
yeah. No, it was one because I broke out one time because they didn't expect it and everything. So I mean, that was just to let them know I still had it. So I would come out, do my thing, I think. But I cleared out when I come out do the windmill on them. I tear the whole floor. Everybody just go crazy on that. So
Yeah.
I loved it to this day, ever since then. But we actually got with Tuff Crew on a later half of them before they actually kind of like did they split and everything. So I want Tone to tell that story and everything. But like Tone got some other stuff outside of Tuff Crew, like Bring It Home for Jerome and Flipping Kilos and everything. So we kind of got with Tone on the end part of it and everything. So, but I'll probably go into the story of like how y'all kind of like broke up a little bit,
Yeah. Well, we had issues with the I would say issues with the situation because I was finding out from at the time, you go in the record stores and they had record buyers and they would order the albums for the stores, the local stores. So you had sounds of Lehigh, sounds of Germantown, sounds of Upper Darby, and the main place to buy your records, your wax. So when I would go into these stores, they were telling me, the record buyers, Tone, man, y'all should be rich now, bro. We can't keep your album on the store, in the store, no faster than we order. They selling out. He said, I hope you sitting rich now, bro.
Right, my part's out, right.
And so I started becoming, inquiring about, the money because I wasn't seeing the kind of money they were expressing we should have from the records that was being sold.
Right.
I pressed the issue on that. I was kind of told through the manager and the label situation that, hey, we got to cover the cost. We got to keep this label going, this, that, and the third. So, a lot of money's got to go back into that, which I understood. But basically, we were cut out of the publishing situation, which would be what the artist received for the sale of the records. And we wasn't the first, and I'm sure we wasn't the last, but it became down to whether or not you retained any publishing as the artist, as the writers. And we were aware enough to get, become writers with BMI, ASCAP situation like that and do the copyrights, but we weren't privy to the publishing situation. So it came down to it, all the money that was being generated from the sales of our albums, which, the Danger Zone record wound up selling over 5 million. I think collectively we've sold 5 million records even still. Sound scanned, and I never seen the publishing because we never had a publishing agreement with the manager and the label. So that I saw that loss at the beginning of it when it first started. Who knows how much loss now to this day, but we broke up as a result of me saying, hey, I can't stay in this situation and not be getting bread from what we're selling. What I mean? So I think he did it where we was getting money from the shows. We was getting money from being the radio, from I guess what would be your royalties from radio play. And at the time that was decent, it was decent money. We was getting something, but I mean, the bread and butter was coming from the publishing. Yeah. And me being a young man, I'm 21, I'm saying, yo, and like I said, I approached him and I was told something that didn't, really clear it up for me. He didn't say, well, I'm gonna work you into that. And I wound up stepping away from the situation as a result of that. Kind of similar to what Ice Cube did in that whole situation with that movie.
Industry
because you were
rule
saying
number 4080.
yeah, because you was talking about
Exactly.
the Columbia deal you was supposed to have, like that Hammer deal. I think you was telling me that they was telling you about some deal was on the table and they didn't even let you know about it.
Oh yeah, that was another situation too. Yeah, you reminded me. We had solidified a deal with Capitol Records. I was out
Yeah.
in California and we was promoting our album. And we was getting a lot of feedback because I think at that point we might have been at 300,000, 250,000 record units. So they knew about us on the West Coast, but they didn't know who we really were. So we went out there and started performing with Ice Cube and the Licks, Alcoholics, Exhibit. I met a lot of West Coast rappers at that time. And they was inviting us to the shows. We was doing our shows out there. And Capitol Records is one of the labels that showed an interest in us.
Right.
Going in there, setting up something with the dude who was the A&R at that time. His name was Scott Folks. And he said, yeah, man, we'd like to get down and work something out with y'all. So I said, well, look, I want you to come to your New York office. And then when I go back, me and my manager will ride up to your New York office and we'll talk about it there and do the situation. So he said, yeah. So he came through and I went back and told my manager about it. And I don't think he really believed it was at the point that it was at. It was pretty much, he was ready to seal the deal. So,
right.
And we went up there and my manager was kind of like still, I think, leery of how far the situation was. And he was promoting himself. I think he actually showed up with a photo album with him with showing pictures of who he knew in the industry and Muhammad Ali and Patti LaBelle. So I never forget the dude was like, so what we talking about for your group? What kind of money we talking about? And he said, I never forget. He said, let me get back to you after I talk to my people. So I guess he talked to some people that he knew in the industry, maybe to see what he should ask for. But the A&R wound up calling me like, yo, your manager ain't ready. He said, I came there with a blank check. I was ready to do the deal.
Right.
He wasn't really, ready. He said, I think he kind of in a way, he was promoting himself. He was still interested in y'all, but let me know when you got something solidified as far as, what y'all want to do. And, when I realized that, I that was another kind of influence that influenced me to say, I don't think he's really ready to deal with it on this level. You know what I mean? There was the deal right on the table and he let that joint slide off the table. So from there, I was apprehensive about continuing to move forward with him.
Yeah.
So,
see, for a manager to not even have your best interest saying a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
he wasn't ready. This was the person that I had, to make that call for me. And I could have pretty much tried to get the situation done out in Cali, just getting the power of attorney with my the rest of my group or something, and did the deal. But I tried to run it through him.
Right.
It's supposed to go, and he really wasn't even ready with a number. And then come to find out, they wound up signing MC Hammer and giving him $2 million. Or MC Hammer even came out. That was the deal on the table for Tuff Crew.
wow.
And I heard he got $2 million. So that would have been the beginning of us. Then more people would have known about us, would have got that exposure to Hammer.
Yeah. That's the story I try to tell everybody because that's crazy to this day. Because like I said, when you hear my part of town to this day, like I don't care where you at, that thing still rock to this day. So it's no way in the world that thing ain't should have.
We threw that joint on, man, that radio show we had on campus, man. Like I said, he put me on to y'all, man. I was like, yo, this joint. And I used to always try to do the cut. Oh, dance up. Yo, I love how he just broke that down. I used to always try to like do it. You know what I mean? And just that joint, like off rip, it grabbed you. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, these dudes dope. So
shout out to Tuff. He's a DJ. He's a pioneer out of Philly, man.
That's dope.
No doubt.
So with that, when y'all were together, because I saw that y'all went on tour with like Public Enemy, different hip hop groups. Like what was that like?
It's crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Tell him about Uncle Luke story.
I met well, we did a lot of shows with Luke because our record was #1 down in Miami. So Luke would call us down there all the time to do shows. We did Miami Baseball Stadium. I think at that time we was on tour with Public Enemy and 2 Live Crew. Mm-hmm. We did the Miami Baseball Stadium in a crowd of 30,000. I think we went on tour with LL. I forget which album he had out. And we always was linking up with the New York artists doing shows. So that's how we met most of, the early rappers from New York. I know Biz Markie, I know Kane, Shan, Rakim, all of them from that era. Slick Rick, Dougie. We was doing shows with them because we was in the mix, but we didn't have the kind of promotional backing that they had because we worked out a P&D deal with Warlock Records. Excuse me. Warlock Records was the label that put out the Fat Boys. They put out Jungle Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we was on that label with a P&D situation. So they did our distribution, but didn't spend a lot on marketing and promotion. So we pretty much promoted ourselves along with the people who pretty much were Tuff Crew fans. Most of our promotion came from the fans that we had that moved around. They would just go from town to town and tell us. A lot of people went into service. They would take our tape. At the time, it was cassettes and albums. They would take our record or our tape to wherever wherever they were stationed in the Army or the Navy.
Okay.
That did a lot of promotion for us. And then we would go to the colleges and link up with the college DJs who would show us something with them. And then that gave us promotion through the colleges. So we promoted ourselves, but we didn't have that industry-backed kind of high power, marketing and promotion that, to those big videos and stuff like that. So that's why I think we didn't get as much exposure, but we was doing shows with the best, rappers out of New York.
And I was saying, like, at that time, that's when it was like the golden era and everyone was at their prime and you were rocking right with them. So like y'all should have been still with them, you know what I mean? But
well, yeah, believe it or not, I mean, we still, whenever they do something, we just did the 10-year All-Stars of Hip Hop anniversary with all of them out in Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall last winter.
Yeah.
That last show they had in Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall, I think it was January, February of this year.
Martin Luther King Joint, yeah. That was the last one.
It was the 10-year All-Stars of Hip Hop, 10-year anniversary. Yeah. We was on that joint and the album was there.
What was that like? Because I read up on that with Two Live Crew, like how y'all were linked. And in my mind, I'm like, Two Live Crew and Public Enemy, like completely different contrasts of rap. But, us in that era, like, we liked all different type style rap. What was that like with the crowd?
Answer mix a lot.
Well,
see? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I miss about that era. And I think that's what they're missing out on today. The powers that be behind the music scene are so it's like they're keeping hip hop in a box, and hip hop was never in that box. The culture of hip hop was expressed through the languages of the artists, and the artists varied. There was various artists. I mean, you had from one extreme Public Enemy all the way to
PM Dawn.
PM Dawn, yeah, or Take Me to Another Place. Take Me.
Arrested Development.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole gambit. I mean, and it was appreciated. You got to express whatever it was, where you was from, how you did it.
And it was dope.
I think that was just a melting pot of urban Black expression. And now it's just so centralized and so in a small box so that they could control the message, I think, is the reason. They wanted to limit the message, so they had to limit the genre. And that's a disservice to hip hop because it's still, I think, a broad, wide range of artists that want to do it, but they're not being recognized because you have to fit a certain cookie cutter type of. But back then it didn't matter. I mean, I guess out there, we on the road, like I said, with Public Enemy, Two Live Crew, and Tuff Crew, 3 different things. One politically, one street, and like with the female situation, and like, I would say club.
That club shaking, yeah.
On the same, venue. And it was cool. I mean, that many different people came. We packed the joints, and it just showed me the potpourri, if you will, of hip hop and how it was appreciated among the fans as a broad-based genre.
And we also did a lot of stuff with the groups in Philly, like EST, Larry Lag, and all those kind of genres. So we
there was a whole movement in Philly as well. There's a at the time, I'd say just a few years after New York really got it ingrained and established hip hop as a true, genre. We was right on it from our influence from that. We had artists coming up, your Cool C's, your Steady B's.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the New York artists even came to Philly to get on. I think Shan,
Right.
and not Latifah, but Shantae, they came to Pop Art. That was out of Philly.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Maybe even a couple of them got they start out here.
Yeah. Wow.
Label situation. Yeah, Pop Art was one that signed the first New York groups that I knew about, which was Shantae and MC Shan was the first I knew about. I met Kane. He came to Philly through Lady B. That was early on before he started. He didn't even have a deal with Warner Brothers yet. He was dope. You know what I mean? So we was right in the mix, man. And it wasn't this kind of, like you said, it was broad based, and it was very wide expressions of music forms with the hip hop.
Right. And like I said, and I'm young going through this. Like I said, I'm 17 and everything, and running around with Tone, having fun and all this stuff. So at that time, I ain't appreciate it like I do now and everything. And I sit back because being around Tone, I lived with him for 5 years, and being around him is like to see some of these artists and everything, and I'm right up like, hey, yo, this came right here, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, but now that I see that, like, these artists is still big and everything, like, I still got some pictures, but like being with him, he exposed me to a lot, man. It's like we had a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie though.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, no doubt.
That's dope. I remember listening to like I said, when I was in college, he put me on to Tuff Crew, and then then Steady B. I remember seeing DJ Tap Money doing something on, I think it was Video Music Box. And then right after that, it was Jazzy Jeff. And I know Tap Money was like heavy influencer for Jazzy Jeff. And all that started coming out of Philly. So that's when I started, hearing like more group, like, 3 Times Dope. What did y'all have? Were y'all always like, with New York, they had Boogie Down, then they had Juice Crew, they had their little beats back and forth, but it was music, it wasn't real beat. Did y'all ever have that? Was it friendly competition, or were y'all just always rocking with each other?
Yeah, I would say it was friendly competition, definitely. We was repping our hood, Tuff Crew was kind of sort of repping North Side, even though I was originally from South Philly, but I had roots in North, and so we was kind of like a North Philly group. And everybody, each group, wherever they was from, kind of was repping their neighborhood. You know what I mean? So
Parkside for five.
Yeah, you had that. Yeah, Schoolie D from Parkside area. So you kind of repped your area, but we wasn't competing against each other. It never really got into no beefs the way that the Bronx and Brooklyn did it. But I know that it was friendly competition in that, when we came to do the shows, Tuff Crew was like, look, we get ready to tear shit up.
Yeah. They go by our name, Tuff Crew.
I don't know about all y'all, but we about to tear this shit down. I don't know what y'all get ready to do.
Right.
We want to leave everybody. Our thing was, let's leave everybody feel like, yo, the boys is dope. They tore this shit up. And we wound up getting a rep for having one of the tightest shows.
That's a real important thing, yeah.
So we kind of stood out. That even I had some of the Philly artists tell us, yeah, man, we used to love to see y'all do it. Even when we was on the show with y'all, we used to love to get, when we got off doing our thing, we love to watch y'all show. EST from 3 Times Dope told me that. He said, man, I love to see y'all do y'all thing, man.
Yeah.
Get off so I can get out there, crew get on. Because we put on a good performance at that time. We had dances, and we just really brought it, man, when we did it.
Yeah. It was like, damn, I gotta go on after these dudes. Like, let them be the closer. I don't want to go on after them.
I mean, you heard the DJ. You see how he was going in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that
and then we had
more amp.
We had good dances. Hip and Hop was doing their thing. We had other dancers that did their thing, and then we had a routine. So our show was very, entertaining, and I think that's what hip hop is missing nowadays too. It's like it don't matter whether you do an entertaining show. If your record is hot, you show, your boys can show up, your whole entourage. y'all all could be up there. You don't even know if the person's really doing the show. That's the artist.
Yeah, like 100 people on one stage. And you're just standing there rhyming. Like,
yeah, you lose track of who even rhyming. You know what I mean? Like the fan base is doing it for. I mean, the entourage is doing the show for the artists.
Yeah,
wasn't allowed, man. We came on. It had to be a hype intro. We still do it like that. So I think that helps us keep our longevity. In fact, people kept booking us for shows. We always still, bring it pretty hot.
Yeah,
and plus the music is good. Like all the stuff like
all that together.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That remind me like with Kane, when Kane and School with Scrap, like when they were gonna perform, they were gonna do some ill routine. So I know that was the same with y'all. Like, yo, I can't wait to see what Tuff Crew gonna do this show. That's dope because it makes people not only go to the music, they know y'all gonna tear it down as far as the live performance.
Exactly. Shout out to Big Daddy Kane too. That's my man. Yeah, he definitely put on. To this day, he put on a hype show. He always got somebody out there dancing.
Yeah.
Right. And before me and my buddy Eric got on, we was fans. Like I said, we was fans of like the music, like the songs that they play. It was like we would rewind the tape over and over and everything. Like crazy.
Making routines to it.
Look, yeah, we would rewind the joint like just to make the dance step to fit what they saying on the joint. You know what I mean? So it could be on some, you know what I mean, whatever they said, we try to, make it to the joint. So we had fun with it and everything too.
Song. Yeah. Do y'all still have recordings of those live shows?
Yeah, it's something still floating around. Some of them, a lot of them are still on YouTube now. I don't have them personally. I was taking more pictures and recording more because at the time I didn't appreciate the value of what that would be later on, man. I had that history recorded. Actually, we had opportunities to do, whatever happened type shows, you know what I mean? Unsung and this, that, and the third, but I didn't have enough video footage and pictures left. The boy that was the beatbox from our group, Monty G. He was the human beatbox. He took a lot of pictures at the time. He was the picture man. And unfortunately, a lot of them was Polaroids. I had inquired to him about getting some of those pictures for a documentary, and a lot of them got like moisture damage.
Oh, okay.
The pictures that we took with other groups and after the shows and on the tour bus and all of that. He was pretty much recording the history. He dug it, I guess, at that time. How important that would be. I didn't. I just was living in the moment.
Well, see, I don't know what Tone talking about because I got a lot of footage. I don't know what Tone. I still got a lot of stuff on VCR tape and everything. Yeah. So I still got footage and everything. Yeah. So like I still got stuff of like live shows that we did with like certain artists and things like that. You know what I mean? Because before I even got with like in the Mills, I was with Tone. I was actually dancing for Power 99 too. Like, so we actually did like Powerhouse and things like that. Like we almost did a TV show with Power 99 and everything. So
Powerhouse was kind of like Summer Jam, right? New York?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, that was like Philly Summer Jam pretty much. The Powerhouse joints. It would be the hottest artists of that year on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to this day, man, like I said, I still listen to Tuff. To this day, I still listen to the John. So
yeah, he told a story when I put that joint on one of my mixes, and that's how he told me, "Yo, I'm part of it." You know what I mean? He was like,
"Yeah."
My part of town, like,
that's what's up. Yeah, we was just recently on LL's Cool J at Sirius XM.
Oh, shout out to Rock the Bells.
Yeah, the Rock the Bells radio. He had a all day Philly day playing a Philly artist one day and invited us on. LL, that's my man. Shout out to LL. And he invited us on there, and we did some interviews, some drops, and was playing our music on there for that day. Just about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. I love what he's doing over there. Like, just like when I started mine, you know what I mean? I was playing the same era music, and not only that, he's playing our era music. He's got people doing shows like Chuck D's on there, Roxanne Shantae's on, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's even doper, man. So it's like
his joint, to me, the epitome of hip hop still breathing, man. It's definitely what I listen to just riding around and stuff like that to hear the joints that I grew up on.
Yeah. Right. And this is what brought me to Tiger Station right here. This his YouTube channel. Every time you put something on, I mean, Tiger putting on that old school stuff that we did. You know what I'm saying? So like his channel, it's off the hook. Like you can't go wrong with this station right here. Like everything he put on is that. You know, it's that work. It's
Word
that
up.
work. Definitely is.
Yeah, I got tired of complaining about what the radio not playing. I said, well, I'm gonna play it. You know what I mean? Whatever they ain't gonna play, I'm gonna play it. So
Right.
you know, that's how you
Well, I got some new flamers for you.
Just gonna ask you, what are you doing now as far as with music, you guys, and new heat? I definitely would love to play.
Yeah, we got a new EP in the work. Actually, we was working on the album, but even before that, we could drop an EP. We got some joints ready to go.
Okay.
I also do a side thing where I'm like solo with my man, my producer I was telling you about from high school, Ronnie Yes. Shout out to Ronnie Yes, Smooth Daddy Productions. He's part of a collaboration with me called the Soul Survivors. And we do like kind of socially conscious stuff like that. We just dropped a joint that I'm gonna send to you. It's called Ain't No Love. And we're working on some joints as well, but Tuff Crew is in the process of finishing up this EP called Tuff Crew Band, remember? And I'm gonna send you them joints and you can rock out to them joints. But yeah, we still in the mix with it, man. We older, but even more hip hop than ever. You lose that ability, man. So we all kind of stayed in shape.
I still got it. I'm ready.
Yeah, we kept
yeah,
we kept
that living room floor quick.
Yeah, we had went through our little breakup and everything, but we got back together, realized that was pretty much a management label situation.
Which always happens.
Against each other personally, and got back together and started. We still got a pretty strong fan base, especially overseas. From what I hear overseas, we're one of the most highly anticipated to come over there and do a show, because we never went over there, believe it or not. So they're waiting to get us on the show. We were supposed to be over there in April with Wu-Tang and Public Enemy last April, Tuff Crew, Wu-Tang, and PE. And we all wasn't able to roll, I think, with some passport situations and what do you call it, legalities that kept us all from going over there as a group. And that's cleared up. We're supposed to be on this big concert next year. And I forget the name of it, but it's something like a jam. And we're going to be on that joint next year. If this COVID, everything clears up and allows us. They're waiting for us to come over there. We got a strong fan base in about 13 countries over there, over in Europe.
Yeah, man, we constantly say it, man. Europe, they always supporting like our era, that hip hop, that boom bap, that real hip hop. They, we got people every day from UK, Japan, Brazil tuning in, man. They love it.
Yeah, boom bap is alive and well in boom bap is alive and well in Europe, man, and they keep us alive. I mean, they got some shows even named after us, Danger Zone, video show or this, that, and we be doing drops for people over there, but we influenced the culture in our own way, and they still appreciating us abroad, even here, especially in Philly. Whenever we have shows, they turn out, and so the guys that come from New York, when they do a show in Philly, they throw us on it because we just a nice addition to that show. Yeah. Mostly, yeah.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is dope. Mick, you got anything else to add with it? Cause like I'm a fan too, bro. I'm just sitting there just soaking it.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm still a fan myself and everything still too. Like I said, I told you I lived with the man for 5 years, and like I said, I still look at him as that's my star right there. You know what I mean? So that's my man Ace Boo Poon. We talk all the time. Every time we can get together. You know what I mean? I love him like a brother. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's definitely my brother from another, man.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just want to. I'm just like he got some new stuff that he working on, everything. Like he got a lot of good positive stuff that he working on now that I appreciate. And I think that when I sent you No Love, that video, I think I did send it to you, Tiger.
Oh, you did send it to him?
No Love?
Yeah, the joint No Love.
Talking, or was it before?
It was like a couple weeks ago. It's like a while ago. I sent it to you. The video that he had for No Love.
I think so.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's right. He was like walking around. He was in the streets of Philly, I think.
Yeah, Ain't No Love.
Yeah, Ain't No Love. Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, that was me with the Boy to Sing, Soul Survivors, Ronnie Yes. And we got a collaboration. We're working on some joints, pretty much just tapping into the heartbeat of Philly and abroad too as well. What's going on nowadays? Us being older, a little more wise, it gives us more content to expound on. So we kind of like addressing some of the social ills and different things that's going on. So I did that as a spinoff from Tuff Crew to do my thing and express some stuff outside of typical Tuff Crew music, which was dance, street, general hip hop, as it is. But me and him doing that collaboro to try to address some of the the stuff that we're aware of that's going on out here in our in society.
Right. Because he was always just like right there and everything. Because like I said, at the one, he got the joint Bring It Home for Jerome. Like he did the joint about the Eagles and everything. That's something you could probably look up on YouTube and everything. And
yeah, and the Eagles almost won that year. If they
almost won it that 92, right?
Yeah, then I did a joint.
That one? What's about?
It's called Bring It Home for Jerome. Jerome Brown was a the Eagles player that had got killed in the offseason. Back then when we had Randall Cunningham, I don't know if you're an Eagles fan, but Randall Cunningham and Reggie White and all of those dudes. It was a classic 92, 93 team. And I made that song for them. And then that's when Tuff Crew had broke up. Me and Two Tuff had went on our own and formed Danger Zone Mob Squad. And that was Two Tuff, the DJ, myself, and Mac G, which was a producer out of Philly too. Shout out to Mac G, Jermaine Russ.
Yes, sir.
Still a producer extraordinaire, actually. And, we did our own thing and had some success with that as well. That's what Jace was telling you about with TL Back to Yell, one of the songs. And the song I did, Flipping Kilos, about the drug game and stuff like that. But then we reformed. And now, like I said, we got some music coming down the pike. Eventually an album, but we're going to put out like a four or five song EP first, and then probably a 15-song album to follow. That's the Tuff Crew project. And then me and Ron got a 3-piece EP that's getting ready to drop soon too. All of this on Real Rap Records. That's a label. I started my own label, Real Rap Records, with Z on the end. Real Rap Records with a Z.com. And you can find the new Tuff Crew joints that's going to be on there very soon.
Dope. I was just about to ask you what label now you start your own there. That's dope. You can now stream your own music to these platforms.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about manager not doing your contract right.
Right.
Manager trying to jerk you out of posting, everything.
Yeah, it's been a learning experience, man. Like I said, we sold over. We want diamond. I guess if diamond is 5 times platinum, we definitely want diamond. And we didn't see the proceeds. From that success. So I learned a lot, man. This was a multi-million-dollar lesson.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to hopefully recompensate or retrieve some of the earnings that I lost with that first project by doing my own thing now, doing it the right way.
Unfortunately, like you said, not like the first, or probably won't be the last. Like the never-ending story of the industry doing, basically not even hip hop artists, just all artists, got jerked, especially their first album. You see with De La Soul with Tommy Boy, they told the fans to support them to not even buy their first 3 albums or stream it because they don't see anything. Same thing with Chappelle just happened. He asked Netflix to pull his special because he's not seeing money through Viacom. So it's all these corporations, man. They take from us, they profit from us, but don't want to compensate us for the art we're giving them. It's like you know what I mean? Slave master, like what kind of audacity y'all have? So we gotta take control of our own what we put out. You know what I mean?
Right. Got to take control of our own creation, man. And ownership is everything. I mean, that's the new currency, man. You have to make sure that you're tied into your creation in a way that you can see the benefit, the fruits of your labor. Because early on, they took advantage of our naivete and knowing, the contractual, ins and outs. Yeah. Like I said, we were kind of somewhat known as far as being the writers, how the copyright situation, but we was vague with the publishing, and that that cost us, a lot. But like I said, I ain't gonna cry with spilt milk, man. I'm just gonna pour a new glass.
Yeah, because you got to realize a lot of us is comfortable with that stardom. So we looking like to be out on stage, to go out on tour and meet and all this. Mm-hmm. So we not handling our affairs in the background, and that's the problem with a lot of the artists. They just worried about the fame. You know what I mean?
That's what we was doing it for the notoriety. We was doing it for the love, man.
Right.
Not even for the fame, for the fun. I was doing it for the fun of it. Just have. I mean, when I first heard it on the radio, it was crazy to hear your own thing because I was just doing it for friends.
No doubt.
I had my friends say, "Yo, that's dope." When I recorded or something on it, to have the first time hear my song playing on Lady B Street Beat was like orgasmic. I can't even explain it. It was a great feeling. Like, wow, there you go.
But these labels, they know this. They know that
right.
Young people
right.
Gonna take advantage.
Right. And then we got So while you smiling and tripping over the fact that heard by over the airwaves, somebody counting that cash.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying we just so busy about having that fun and everything and not taking care of our affairs and everything. And then we look at it in the background like, damn, we ain't on our publishing. We ain't got our masters and none of that. But like I said, Tone, he doing it the smart way now. He know. But he knew back then when he was trying to tell Tuff Crew, like, look, black, this is what we should be seeing. You know what I'm saying? And
I tried to tell them, and they didn't roll with me, and I wound up stepping off. But, like I said, it was very similar to the NWA situation where saying, yo, we not eating like we should be eating, and certain other people still being loyal to the situation. And I said, it's not about loyalty. This is business. I mean, if the loyalty was what it was about, then his loyalty to us should be to make sure that we get what we deserve.
Exactly.
But already, the loyalty was already compromised. So now it's an issue with, how can we correct this? They still chose the road out. They even did another album with him. You know what I mean? And he even tried to talk them into dissing me. That didn't work because I had street cred. So they tried to wind up breaking up anyway. And it was just a wasted, futile effort.
Right.
I think he ran off with the bag. You know what I mean? I talk about it in some of my new music. Matter of fact, I got a song called True Story. And I've been asked so many times what happened to Tuff Crew. I did this joint called True Story. And the second verse, I get into it. I say, Tuff Crew, we pay dues like a motherfucker. Microphone check, 1, 2, like a motherfucker. Never booed, interviewed like a motherfucker. Trusted my manager, but dude was a motherfucker. The greatest story never told about a young, hungry rapper, 19 years old, ready to go gold, bound to go platinum, rolling with Crown Rule, Tuff Crew, Fats, and Happen them. And they was backing them. But I said, and they was backing them, but who was getting the dough and who was tracking them? I see shit on Unsung, some type of drama that some manager brung. Hot head, loose tongue, how you broke the whole squad up. Blew the deal with Capital and broke the whole vibe up. I learned a multi-million-dollar question, true story about a teacher, classes in session. And that's kind of just one of the verses.
No.
Yeah, that's a true story. You'll hear that, Joe. A lot of people ask me what happened, so I made a song about it. And we get into it a little bit.
There's an article I read. I kind of knew it was kind of instinct. It said, during the recording of the 4th album, the group was joined by Smooth K and DJ Cutsology. Members Tone Love and DJ Too Tuff were absent because they were working on an outside project. But I was like, nah, I think it was something else with that. Yeah, and now I find out.
Right, yeah. That's what they
we was working on an outside project because we had decided to Too Tough bail with me. He was like, he didn't that really was down the road with me.
Yeah.
Right. And Ice Dog, they did Jimmy Crack Corny. They did another joint. They put out an album. What was it? Jimmy Crack Corny and something else. They tried, like he was saying, they tried to diss us and everything, and it just didn't work.
Well, the manager put them up to that, because he was mad, a little salty that I stepped off, and he was like, yeah, we're going to make an album without him, and he told him to talk some shit on me, but, eventually they saw that what I was saying was real. I didn't have no problem with them. Except that, other than once they tried to diss me, I had TL back to yell. I had to say a little something to that. But my whole thing was, let's stick together.
Oh, your camera's a little low.
Oh, okay. I was saying, let's stick together. We're a group. Let's hang in there and, somebody gonna bite. We already had this deal situation. We could go back to them as a matter of fact. I think the manager had got through today. They were young. And he got through to their parents. and was telling them, well, this guy in the group is starting to, trip. That happens sometime within groups, so if we just stick together, we could replace him, we'll be all right. And, they probably should have just, still rolled out with me. We could have got that deal with Capital. Who knows? We probably might still be seriously in the mix. You know what I mean? So,
like you said, everything I learned and experience.
like I said, it ain't nothing I could do. It's spilt milk, brother, but I can pour a new cup. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And like I said, our era of music that I think even more now with so much just whack, just no substance music that's out, ours even is a more appreciation for it. You know what I mean? Because it's like now you got a choice. Like with the radio, when they started to change, started playing a lot of music people wasn't feeling.
Yeah,
you kind of had no choice. You turn it on, or you had to listen to what you had in your collection. Now with the internet, put on Fullblast, you could not even have on Shot 97 and all those other stations. You don't even have to listen to that. You could listen to what you want at the drop of a dime now.
And thank God, man, for the independent radio stations that came through, man, because I don't know what I would do. I really don't vibe out much with a lot of the new wave, and so it's so limited, and you either like that or you don't. And me personally, it's not my vibe. Yeah. I'm like storytelling. I'm into like content. I'm into like subject matter rap. Yeah. For all the joints that I said, yo, that's my song, or I want to hear that again. That's my joint for a reason, because it was. You know what I mean? It was speaking to me about something.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff don't really say much. I used to sit down and listen to a whole album because I wanted the vibe off of the whole vibe of the artist. I can listen to a whole PE joint. Busta Rhymes, a whole Busta Rhymes joint. A whole Das Effects joint. It was content, and the album kind of said something to you as a whole. It really told you about that artist, how they roll, his lifestyle, his neighborhood. Now the songs are so shallow in content that it's just you either like the way it sounds or you don't. And it's not really how it sounds. That type of artist. So all of that little electronical, cute little different little noises and stuff ain't really my flavor. I need stations such as yourself, shout out to DJ Tiger, you know what I'm saying? And people like yourself holding it down for real hip hoppers such as myself who need that real rap. You know what I mean? Consider real rap.
Yeah. What's your most personal song that you wrote?
For myself?
Yeah. Like
I got a joint called Reacquainted.
Yeah, I like Reacquainted. And that's
yeah, and that's pretty much me just talking about myself, my situation. I call it Reacquainted because it's like kind of me getting back reacquainted with the rap music and the industry as a whole, coming back into it. So I'm reacquainting myself to the people, but I talk a little bit about what I've been through and stuff like that. I think that's one of the realest joints that I relate to.
Yeah, I like Reacquainted. Reacquainted is real nice.
Yeah.
Get down to you. What's your writing like your thought process? Like can you like go to the studio, you gotta hear the beat and then you write to, or you already have something and then you gotta find a beat that fits?
My formula would be I let the beat speak to me.
Okay.
So I get a track. If I like the track, I call it marinating. I marinate on the track. And then I let that track speak to me, and then it'll give me kind of a hook or a subject of what would go good with it. Once I get that little hook, I really build the chorus on the hook. The hook is kind of a vibe, like, all right, this vibe and this music is giving me a dance feel or a fun feel or a serious feel or a socially awareness feel or I get that energy from the song. And then I come up with kind of like the hook, the vibe for the hook. Then I write the chorus. And once I got that, boom, I bang it out. Pretty much the rest of it comes to me. I really don't have any issues with writing, man. That's one of my gifts from God. It was able to, put down on a pen and pad what I'm feeling and articulate that, in a creative way.
That's the dope thing about hip hop, man. Like that articulating is so important because they said anyone could say the same thing, but how you articulate it, how you say it, so important and part of the craft, you know, because there's always these debates like who's the best MC, your top this and that. Most of the time I don't like doing those because it's broad. You can have, you know, some people look at, oh, this dude sold more, which I don't agree with, because there's people that haven't sold more, but I know 3 times as dope as this dude what he spit, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has to do with, you know, how you say it, you're telling how you put the words together, the flow, you know.
Right. I don't really flow is everything. I don't really try to out rhyme anybody. I don't go into it like I gotta sound better than anybody. I think my niche is I write it where it could be understood, but in a creative way. I never want to make too deep where it's above the head, over the head of anybody. I never want to make it too shallow where it's like, oh, they ain't really, you know, it's that part where you be like, oh, they can't really rhyme. That's too simple. But sweet spot for me where I'm communicating that somebody 7 years old or 70 could get it. That's where I think my stronghold is. Now I actually, you know, I'm a pretty good expressionary person with words, but I like to keep it simple, but in a clever way. Like, for example, I'll say something like, now can I get a round of applause for the simple fact I'm back against all odds and I never fell off and I wasn't behind bars, I was building, behind the scenes playing my cards, right? So I'm gonna let you see what's in my hand, a microphone sweat and a microphone stand. And they thought I was playing. They thought it was too late, but while I was busy thinking, I was just creating. Sorry to have you waiting. Thanks for your patience. Now I see how my bread disappeared from my plate. So back to I'm back in the basement for rappers to come after, laying the foundation. Open doors out in Philly for these up and comers. Stole our publishing, but can't take nothing from us. Far as rep go, dope from the get-go. True school, tough crew, round 2, let's go. And that's just simple.
But it's dope.
You feel me?
Grab you. Word. That's what
you feel me?
I love
you don't miss it. You don't miss it.
Nah,
and then you don't, but then I don't like it to get past nobody.
Yeah.
I don't like it to get, you know, be too simple either. So I think I found a nice, happy place where it's like simply clever.
Yeah. Right.
Perfectly express what I'm feeling without being too deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because there's rappers that I ain't gonna name. There's rappers that they'll use these big words, and I know they don't know what it means. They started using just a big word. You know, and it's like, yo, that don't even make sense what you said. Like, you just want to use it because it sounds smart.
Well, you know, actually, only person I appreciated doing that was Keith Murray.
Okay, yeah.
Made a style out of it. I used to love Keith Murray doing that. I didn't know what the fuck he was saying, bro. but I love this. I love the shit out of his bars, though.
Oh hell yeah, Keith Murray definitely the exception, man. Shout out
it didn't even have to make sense to me. I was like,
that's his personality.
Talk that shit, Keith.
Word.
No. You know who the king of that is?
Hold on. Cool, and also Cool Keith.
Cool Keith
from Ultra Mag.
Yeah.
No. The king of that is E40.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did that too. Yeah, matter of fact, shout out to Ultramagnetic, Cool Keith. They was the first that put us on when we first started. We was looking to get some production out of New York, so we came up to New York, South Bronx, up 169th, and I was up the Bronx River Projects and ran into that's when I met KRS, Chris Parker, Kenny Parker, and them, and I met Said G, and Said G produced our first album.
Right.
So I was hanging out with Cool Keith and said, G, shout out to Ultramagnetic MCs. They had a lot to do with the beginning of Tuff Crew too, man.
Y'all pioneers rap. Word up, man.
Yeah, they gave us our first flavor. Taught my producer how to use the SP12, and you know, we knew what we was doing. We got into better beats and stuff like that. After that, that's when we made My Part of Town. And
look, we just did a show with Ultramagnetic. What was that last year?
Oh, it was early. Wasn't it earlier this year? Or maybe late last year.
Yeah.
Late last year, maybe November or something last year with Cool Keith and Said G. Yeah, that's my man's in them.
Yeah.
Extra Smooth. I got a lot of friends up, you know, that I'm cool with out of New York from the old hip hop MCs, man. You know, we I'm really looking to do some collabs with some of them too. I wanted to before I but completely get some collabs with some of the, like Greg Nice and maybe, anybody out of New York that we was doing the shows with, I'd love to do collabs with, man. So if y'all listening to my man DJ Tiger and you was out there with Tuff Crew, you an artist, you know what I mean? Check out, holla at me, man. Get at me on the gram. Definitely love to collab with some of y'all up there in NY, man. That would be a unique collaboration. There wasn't a lot of New York, Philly collabs that ever happened.
Oh yeah. Speaking of beats by Fullblast also do production, so I definitely want you to hear some of my tracks.
Oh, okay. All right.
Something.
Well, you gotta send me something dope, yo.
I'm gonna send you something today. I got a YouTube link too with beats too. It's under Big Beat Concepts on YouTube. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Big Beats Concepts. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I definitely bless you with one, man. We go ahead and do something.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what I'm saying. I love MCs, man. Like, you know what I mean? I have beats just sitting, so anybody that I would want to have on my beats, somebody like this. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Much respect, man. I ain't about candy bars, man. Ain't nothing but energy bars over here.
That's what's up.
Thanks.
Man, yo, this was dope, man. Yo, like I said, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate Tuff City. I keep saying Tuff City. That's a record label, right?
That was a record label back at the time, Tuff City. Yeah.
On my vinyl, I had Tuff City Records, and I keep saying that. My bad.
Don't get that. That was an easy mix-up, actually. Some people was looking for Tuff Crew, was grabbing Tuff City sometimes, thinking that was up. Because the Tuff was spelt the same way.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
It was somebody dope, too. It was somebody dope on Tuff City, too.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was, but I remember seeing that album like, all right, I can see how that's an easy mix-up because it was spelled Tuff the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to separate myself from Tuff City because this the boy from Philly and it gets real gritty. I'm with my man, so you know I'm a soul survivor. I'm about to do something live over the beach from DJ Tiger. He on Fullblast. I'm still busting their ass. I come off the top, about to get this green like grass. You know it ain't not even a task. This shit come to me fast. And I can leave you with one last. And it goes like this. I'm from the school of hard rhymers. They heard of me probably. Hip Hop University, Magnum cum loudly. Alumni, some say I flame instrumentals. It's that simple original rap general. TL, 1st Lieutenant, 2nd Battalion. Reporting for duty, these niggas dilly-dallying. My first bring that hip hop back. She trapped behind enemy lines, roger that. No need a gat on the back. I open fill attack, got them ducking like Aflac. And I don't rap about banging you with the hammer. I drop bars and hit you with the grammar. That state of mind kept me out of the slammer. Catch me live in Philly, Atlanta, or Alabama. Take my flow on the road, doing what I was told. Going in for hip hop instead of free for I roll. So back to the lab with a pad and a pen. Fat track, me and my men, we at it again. Tune coming soon to battle again. It's that boy from Tuff Crew back in the saddle again. You heard me?
The other chick. Oh no!
Oh my God, that's dope.
Yeah.
MCs, man, freestyle
energy bars.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Yo, you should. Yo, I don't know, like the time you have. There's this dude. I keep forgetting his name. He does freestyles. Like he'll pick beats. Like he just did Ninth Wonder beats, and he's freestyling them, and in the chat, they sending him. I'll donate $10 and they'll put in a subject line, rhyme about this. And as he looks at it, just like how you did, he's just going. And they just sending him donation. And he'll go for like a half hour, 40 minutes, just freestyle and rap. Yo, that would be something dope, bro.
That is dope. We'll rap for food.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll rap for food.
Yeah, he always had an off the top of the dome type freestyle, John. Like I don't still to this day I don't know how
freestyle. That ain't when freestyle and somebody wrote it already. Nah, that's real freestyle.
Yeah, I can't take no credit as God's grace. He's the one that gave me the skill in the first place. Shout out to my man DJ Tiger and my man Jace. We did this thing. This thing was fire like lace. Yo, let's get it. Keep fire.
Bro. Yes, sir.
Man,
this thing was...
Yo, one time, y'all. Tone Love. Tuff Crew, man. Yo, appreciate this, man. Anytime, man, we link up, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Mick, he's part of the tribe, you know what I'm saying? We kick it every day, man. my new family. So,
No doubt, bro. Same here, man. No doubt, man. You in the danger zone, bro. Keep representing hip hop like you doing. I'm gonna definitely check for you on your show. And like I said, just send me. You got my email, man. Send me some, man. Give me a couple days.
I got your number.
Coming back to you on a hot platter.
Okay, I'll send you the links to everything. Word up.
All right, that's
Yes,
what
sir.
it is.
Appreciate
Respect.
you, man. Salute.
Yes.
Jake.
Shout out, Tone.
Tone, real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
Can I get a? My wife reminded me. She was like, "You can get a drop." But,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
so yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah, you know what? I'll.
What's the name? What's the name of what's your show?
Fullblast Radio.
Okay. Yo, you are now rocking with the best. Don't settle for less. This your boy TL, the Danger Zone representative, Tuff Crew, and I'm rocking with DJ Ty on. One more time.
Good.
Say when. Yo, you are now rocking with the best. Never settle for less. It's your boy TL, the teacher, Tuff Crew, Danger Zone representative, and I'm chilling with Fullblast Radio, DJ Tiger. You know what I mean? Check him. It's fire, yo.
Oh man, salute,
Yes, sir.
man. Thank you so much, bro. Word.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You
much.
got it.
We're gonna definitely link up for sure.
That's what it is, my man. Appreciate it.
Back real hip hop in the building.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Tom.
Hip hop forever.
I love you, bro. Thanks,
You already
Tiger.
know,
Word.
Shake.
Mick, thank you so much, bro. You already know.
Anytime. All right, now.
Later.
Peace
Y'all-
out.
Peace, drop.
Word, y'all. Full Blast Radio, yo. Make sure we live later on. Got tell y'all real quick. Y'all don't know we got a special versus. Gonna be blend battling somebody later on. So definitely check out for that. 9 p.m. tonight. Gonna do it up tribe style like we always do. Party mode. Thanksgiving Eve, everyone's starting to cook and all that. So gonna bring some good vibes later on tonight. Word up. Big Takala,
What's up?
salute my G. Love, you already know.
So happy Thanksgiving, tribe.
Word up.
Everybody be safe out there, all right?
Definitely.
Thanks, Tiger. Peace,
You already
man.
know, bro. Peace.